Humans tend to feel awkward talking about sex. Nature does not. Out there are animals that turned reproduction into parasitism, deception, sword fighting, and sometimes outright murder. And somehow, evolution looked at all of this and decided, yes, this works perfectly. These are the weirdest sex lives in the animal kingdom. Anglerfish. The husband that becomes an organ. Deep in the darkest parts of the ocean, where sunlight never reaches, and finding another living creature is already difficult enough, some male anglerfish have solved the dating problem in perhaps the most horrifying way evolution has ever produced. They simply become part of the female. In several species of deep-sea anglerfish, the female can grow more than 60 times larger than the male. The males are so tiny and underdeveloped that many of them cannot even properly feed themselves. Their entire existence revolves around one objective: find a female before starving to death in the abyss. To do that, evolution gave them enormous nostrils capable of detecting pheromones drifting through the dark ocean. And once a male finally finds a female, he bites her, not aggressively, permanently. The male locks onto her flesh with his teeth and releases enzymes that dissolve the tissues between their bodies. Their skin fuses together. Then their blood vessels merge. Eventually, the male loses his eyes, his internal organs, and even parts of his brain, until all that remains is essentially a living sack of testicles attached to the female's body. A biological USB stick. Some females can carry multiple males attached to them at the same time, constantly supplying sperm whenever needed, which means somewhere in the deep sea right now, there are fish swimming around with an entire harem of parasitic husbands hanging off their sides. And somehow, evolution considered this an efficient reproductive strategy. Western garter snakes, the giant mating ball. Every winter, thousands of red-sided garter snakes hibernate underground in massive dens across North America. And when spring arrives, things become absolute chaos. The females emerge first and release pheromones so powerful that they attract enormous swarms of males almost instantly. Hundreds of snakes pile onto a single female at the same time, twisting together into giant writhing masses known as mating balls. From a distance, it looks less like reproduction and more like the ground itself has become alive. Each male competes to position himself closest to the female, while pushing rivals away using sheer muscular force. The strongest and luckiest male eventually mates with her, and then releases a gelatinous mating plug designed to block competitors from fertilizing her afterward. But the weirdest part is that some males fake being female. Certain smaller males can produce female pheromones, tricking other males into surrounding them instead. Scientists believe this behavior may help them steal warmth after hibernation or distract rivals away from actual females. So yes, some snakes catfish other snakes to improve their dating chances. Nature is unbelievable. Hippos, romance by biological warfare. Hippos might look cute from a distance. That illusion disappears immediately during mating season. Male hippos attract females by simultaneously urinating and defecating while violently spinning their tails like industrial-grade manure sprinklers. This creates a horrifying airborne storm of feces and urine, powerful enough to coat the surrounding area in what can only be described as weaponized body fluids. And somehow, the females are into it. The spraying acts as both territorial marking and a display of dominance. The stronger the male, the larger and more aggressive the performance. These displays are often accompanied by deafening vocalizations that can travel through both air and water simultaneously. If a female accepts the male, mating usually happens underwater, despite the fact that hippos are technically land mammals. In fact, they are the only large terrestrial mammals in Africa that consistently mate underwater, which means somewhere in an African river, two hippos are currently having the least romantic underwater date imaginable. Salmon, the fish that reshapes mountains. Salmon are famous for swimming upstream to reproduce, but scientists discovered something far more insane. Over millions of years, salmon mating behavior may literally reshape landscapes. Female salmon build nests called redds by violently beating their tails against riverbeds to dig shallow depressions where eggs are laid and fertilized. Afterward, they cover the eggs with gravel to protect them from predators and strong currents. At human timescales, this seems insignificant. But computer simulations spanning millions of years revealed that this constant digging loosens sediment and accelerates erosion across entire river systems. In rivers with large salmon populations, surrounding terrain can erode dramatically faster than rivers without them. Some models suggest that after around 5 million years, landscapes influenced by salmon spawning become significantly lower in elevation. So technically speaking, salmon reproduction can help reshape mountains. That is not a metaphor. Banana slugs. Love so aggressive. It ends in amputation. Banana slugs are giant yellow slugs that look exactly like overripe bananas, and their reproductive strategy is somehow even stranger than their appearance. Banana slugs are hermaphrodites, meaning each individual possesses both male and female reproductive organs. During mating, two slugs intertwine their bodies in a bizarre suspended spiral while simultaneously exchanging sperm. The process can last for hours. Unfortunately, things do not always go smoothly. Sometimes the reproductive organs become stuck together, and when that happens, one slug may chew off the other's penis to escape. Scientists call this apophylation. Yes, that is the real scientific term. In some species, up to 5% of individuals permanently lose their reproductive organs this way, and unlike many other animals, they do not grow back. Which means there are slugs out there surviving life after catastrophic romantic accidents. And evolution apparently accepted that trade-off. And somehow, this is only part 1. Because in the next episode, we'll talk about spiders that willingly die during mating, mammals that literally reproduce themselves to death, and flatworms that settle reproduction with sword fights. Trust me, the second half gets worse. This has been Oddology.